Assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to learn a very vital thing for system analysis and design course. Here we'll show practically how to develop a use case. Then from this use case, how we develop the codes or programming. Then from this programming, how we end up building a real system. So for the system analysis and design students, this might be a really interesting area to work on or develop their skill, and they can actually feel how the things really work in the real world. So we'll take a very fun topic. We'll develop a use case for a love calculator. Really a fun topic, right? So we'll show how to write a use case for love calculator, then write codes for to develop a love calculator, then how we can implement this code in a system so then it becomes an workable thing. So this is a standard format for writing use case. Here we have use case name, ID, priority, actor, a short description of the use case or the system, trigger when you will use the system, type. Here we have external and temporal. For external purposes means with the system or the person, or temporal is the time trigger. Then we have preconditions, normal case, alternative courses of action if the normal case is not the case. Then we have post condition when the normal case or alternative things have done. Then what would be the post condition? Then we will see some exceptions. The arrows are the information or data we do input in the system. The left headed arrows are the inputs, and the right headed arrows are the outputs. And then we have a summary. First two columns are your inputs and your sources, and next two columns are your outputs and destination of the data or information. So let's move on to love calculator use case. I used ChatGPT to convert the use case to codes because it's very much efficient, but you can always develop a base and then you can work on it. However, let's see the use case. Use case name is love calculator compatibility, or you can name it differently. Priority is moderate, actor is the user. Description: users want to access the compatibility between two individuals and utilize the love calculator applications to determine the potential romantic connections. The system computes the love percentage based on the entered names and provide a playful interpretation of the result. Trigger: user wish to access compatibility of two individuals. Type is external because the human or the system will use it, not the temporal. Preconditions of the systems are: user access the love calculator application. Users have the name of two individuals. Then normal case or normal course of action: initiate love calculator using the love calculator. So user entered the name, the system processes the name and computes love percentage, and system generates playful interpretation of the love percentage and use view and share the calculated love compatibility result. Post condition: after you have entered those things or the things are or the system has showed the result, then the love compatibility result displays the users, and user have the option to share the result with others or close the system. Exception: sometimes the names can be invalid. System displays a message indicating the entered names are invalid or format is incorrect. Secondly, system error during the calculation. Maybe the system is hang or the system can't process it. Something goes wrong, or the love percentage may not be generated. So issue generating the lab computer solution. So system contribute the normal codes, users have computers. So this way you can actually show the exceptions. Then I generate a HTML code based on this use case. I requested the ChatGPT to generate HTML code. So it generated a really one code for the lab calculator, and I said make it colorful to see a really good graphical user interface. So then again with iteration it generated a code. So first thing, as a system analyst, you develop a user case like that, then you ask your programmer with some conditions that generate a code for me. So ChatGPT here is your programmer, so it generated that code. Now the system designer or with the programmer, they will design it, the user interface, then the programmer will do the program. And now what you'll do, the system development personnel or you as a system developer will use the code to implement that in a system. So I have the use case, now I have the code, now I'll implement in the system. So for our case, this is a web-based system or web-based software. So I will implement in the web. So in our case, we'll go to Cpanel. If you have a hosting service, in Cpanel, uh, you will go to File Manager. So once your File Manager is loaded, then you have to go to public HTML, and here you need to choose where you're going to implement your thing. If you have a subdomain, I want, for me, I want to install it or develop or establish in or publish it in a subdomain. Like for me, is I have pagate.sociotechsolution.com, project1.sociotechsolution.com, and xyzsociotechsolution.com. I know you already know how to uh, develop or how to create a subdomain, and in that subdomain we need a file to put on and write the code or paste the code, and that file is called index.php. Here we have you already have a website. So what you'll go, we'll edit copy this file, then put it in the subdomain here and edit that file with the new code. So let's download this, click on it, then right click it, then download. Okay, so earlier I already downloaded it, so save it. Then what I'll do, I will again upload it to, for example, project1.sociotechsolutions.com here. So it doesn't have any file, it just is a system file, so I will upload it here. So for upload, I'll click on upload, then I'll select the file, it's in download, index.php, then open. Okay, it's done. Now I have to go back, then I can see the file is uploaded, then I will click, select it, and then edit. Click on edit, then click again edit. You can see there are some codes, so I will delete all the codes here and copy the codes and then paste the codes on index.php file. Control V, then click on save changes. So the file is ready. Now I will go to the subdomain project.sociotechsolution.com, then I'll click OK. So you see the system you wanted to develop is here. So the use case said you have to enter two person's name. For example, I put two names. In my case, my nickname and my wife's nickname, and click on calculate. So now it's showing lab completely measured is 35% penetration. Maybe try it. It's a fun things. So see again, in different time it's giving different results. So it's basically a fun thing to do. So things that this is what you wanted with the use case or with this system. That's how you see from the use case, then the coding, and then the system. And now you can play around it, change your code a little bit. And if it's a prototype design, your client may say something like, or change some code or design. So this is the fun thing to do with the system analysis and design. You can actually see how things really work from its analysis to user use case to programming to real system. I hope you have learned something.